Leon Vargas had always been the kind of person who loved attention. Even as a teenager, he enjoyed being the center of the room, telling exciting stories about adventures he never really experienced. He liked the feeling of people listening to him, admiring him, and believing he had special skills that others did not. So when he discovered martial arts videos online, something in him clicked. He saw those videos of masters talking about inner energy, spiritual strength, and secret techniques, and an idea grew in his mind, an idea that would shape the next few years of his life. Leon never trained seriously in any martial art. He tried a class once in his early 20s, but he didn't enjoy learning basics, forms, or real techniques. Instead, he was drawn to the parts that seemed mysterious. He watched videos of people waving their hands and making others fall without touching them, or people claiming they could stop an opponent with just a calm stare. Leon liked the drama of it, the magic of it, the idea that he could become someone special without going through the hard work everyone else did. He began copying what he saw online. He practiced in front of his mirror, trying to look calm and powerful, moving his hands slowly and imagining invisible energy flowing around him. He had no real teacher, no real guidance, but that didn't stop him. After a few months of self-practice, Leon convinced himself that he understood these mysterious arts better than anyone else around him. At first, he kept it private. He would show a few strange movements to friends, who usually laughed or teased him. But Leon didn't feel discouraged. He felt misunderstood. He believed they simply weren't ready to see his real potential. So instead of stopping, he doubled down on his idea. He started recording small videos of himself, sharing them on social media. He spoke with great confidence, claiming he had studied many ancient forms of energy work. He used big words and serious expressions, making his videos look more impressive than the truth behind them. To Leon's surprise, some people actually believed him. A few viewers commented with curiosity. Others asked if he could teach them. A handful even praised his confidence and calm behavior, thinking he must truly know something valuable. Leon felt something he had wanted for a long time, a sense of importance. He felt admired, and he wanted more. Before long, Leon created a full online presence. He called himself Master Leon, Guardian of Inner Force. He designed posters with inspirational quotes, created slow-motion videos of himself practicing in peaceful parks, and even bought traditional-looking clothing to match the image he was trying to build. As his content spread, more people found him online, and his following grew. Not everyone believed him, of course. Some viewers questioned his methods, asking for the history of his training or the name of his teacher. Leon always avoided giving clear answers. He would say things like, "My journey is personal," or "Real masters walk their own path." His confidence made some people accept these mysterious answers, while others simply moved on. But Leon only focused on the positive comments, the ones that fed his growing self-image. One day, during a live stream, a viewer asked if he offered in-person classes. The question struck him like a bright spark. He had never considered teaching in real life. He had only performed for a camera. But the more he thought about it, the more excited he became. Teaching meant more attention, more followers, and maybe even money. In his mind, it sounded like the next big step. Within a few weeks, Leon rented a small room in a shopping plaza. It wasn't a real martial arts studio, just an empty space with soft flooring and mirrors, but Leon decorated it to look like one. He hung scrolls with quotes about inner strength, placed candles around the edges, and brought in small statues to create a spiritual atmosphere. He put up a sign outside that read, "Vargas School of Inner Energy, Combat." People began signing up. His students came for different reasons. Some wanted to improve confidence. Some were curious about his unusual methods. Others admired his calm attitude and believed his claims about hidden power. Leon welcomed them all, treating each new student as a sign of his growing success. He walked around the room with his hands folded behind his back, speaking gently and wisely, as if he knew ancient secrets no one else had access to. During classes, He rarely asked his students to do anything difficult. Instead, he gave long speeches about controlling emotions, believing in oneself, and unlocking their natural force. He demonstrated slow movements, telling them that with enough practice, these movements could protect them in any situation. He showed them how to breathe deeply, how to wave their hands gracefully, and how to channel invisible pressure. Most of his techniques looked more like meditation exercises than anything else, but many students trusted him completely. Leon felt proud of how quickly they admired him. He loved the respectful bows, the curious questions, and the soft applause whenever he demonstrated something new. He believed he was becoming exactly what he always dreamed of: a leader, a mentor, and a respected teacher. But there were problems Leon didn't see. A few students, after several weeks, felt something wasn't right. They tried to ask practical questions, like whether his techniques had ever been tested or where they came from. Leon always gave them confident answers that dodged the details. Some students accepted his explanations because they genuinely liked him. Others felt unsure but stayed anyway, because the classes made them feel relaxed and peaceful. Only a small number quietly left, thinking the school wasn't what they expected. Despite those who left, Leon continued to grow more popular online. The more attention he received, the more he believed in his own story. He convinced himself that he truly had special abilities. When he practiced alone at night, he would imagine himself as a great teacher who could guide hundreds of people. In his mind, he was not pretending anymore. He was becoming a real master, at least in spirit. What Leon didn't know was that outside his peaceful studio, in the same city, real martial arts schools existed, places where students practiced hard, learned real techniques, and trained with discipline. Among them were experienced instructors, lifelong students, and dedicated athletes who had spent years studying their craft. They heard about Leon only through rumors at first, mostly from new students who said they came from an energy school before seeking more practical training. Some instructors simply shook their heads, believing Leon was probably harmless. Others felt concerned, not because of Leon himself, but because they worried his students might feel prepared for situations they were not actually ready for. No one wanted anyone to get hurt simply because they believed in something that had never been tested. Among those real fighters was Marcus Hale, a calm and thoughtful martial artist who valued honesty and discipline above all else. He didn't pay much attention to online trends, but when someone mentioned Leon's unusual methods, he felt curious. His curiosity wasn't about proving someone wrong, it was about understanding how people could be misled by ideas that were never meant to be used as real skills. Meanwhile, Leon continued to enjoy his growing popularity. He felt unstoppable, proud, and sure of his rising reputation. He didn't see the questions forming around him, he didn't notice the doubts people whispered, and he definitely didn't imagine that someone would one day ask him to show his skills outside his peaceful studio. For now, Leon Vargas lived fully inside the world. He created a world of calm movements, confident words, and followers who believed in him. In his mind, he was finally the master he always wanted to be. Marcus Hale had always been the type of person who preferred actions over big speeches. He was calm, polite, and thoughtful, and everyone at his training gym respected him. He wasn't famous, and he wasn't interested in being famous either. What he cared about most was learning, improving, and helping others grow. Marcus believed that martial arts was not just about techniques, it was about honesty, discipline, and guiding people in the right direction. One afternoon, during a regular training session, Marcus noticed a new student named Aaron. Aaron moved stiffly, as if he wasn't sure how to hold his hands or stand properly. Marcus stepped forward, trying to help him adjust his stance. But Aaron seemed confused, as if he had learned something completely different before coming to the gym. "Relax your shoulders," Marcus said gently. "Think of your body as one piece. Let it move naturally." Aaron nodded, but his movements still looked uncomfortable. After a few minutes, Marcus asked him casually, "Have you trained anywhere before?" Aaron hesitated, then said, "I came from a school that teaches inner energy methods. It wasn't like this." Marcus raised an eyebrow, curious but not judging. "Inner energy school? What kind of training did you do there?" Aaron took a deep breath, trying to explain. Well, the teacher said we could use our energy to protect ourselves, without depending much on physical practice. The classes were peaceful, but when we tried doing some basic partner work, things didn't feel practical. That's why I came here. Marcus didn't say anything right away. He didn't want to disrespect any other school, but he also felt a small worry forming inside him. Training should always give people real skills and a safe understanding of what they can and cannot do. If someone believed they had abilities they didn't truly develop, they might get confused or discouraged later. After class ended, Marcus thought more about what Aaron said. He went home, opened his laptop, and searched for inner energy schools in the city. It didn't take long for him to find videos from Leon Vargas. The moment he saw Leon speaking with great confidence while performing slow hand movements, Marcus understood where Aaron had come from. The videos had peaceful music, beautiful backgrounds, and long explanations about hidden abilities. Leon moved softly, almost like he was dancing, and spoke about controlling the mind and guiding energy. Marcus watched everything carefully, not to judge, but to understand why people believed in him. There was something warm and gentle about Leon's way of speaking, and Marcus could see why some people might find him comforting. Still, he couldn't ignore one thing. None of the demonstrations showed real physical practice with a partner. Everything was done alone, without anyone responding naturally. Marcus knew that students needed to experience real movement and timing to understand even the simplest technique. Over the next week, Marcus heard about Leon again, this time from another new student, a quiet young woman named Mira. She explained that she left Leon's class because she felt unsure if the exercises would help her achieve her goals. Mira wanted to feel stronger and more confident in everyday life, but she didn't feel progress. Marcus smiled kindly and said, "It's good that you're exploring different paths. You should always find what helps you feel your best." But inside, Marcus felt more concerned. Two students coming from the same unusual school within 1 week made him think Leon's teachings were spreading quickly. Marcus didn't think Leon had bad intentions, but he feared the methods might confuse people who wanted practical learning. He decided to watch more of Leon's content. He noticed Leon often avoided explaining where he learned his methods. He used big words, but many of them didn't have clear meaning. Marcus didn't mind if a person taught meditation or relaxation, that was perfectly fine. But Leon claimed his methods could help people in situations that required real physical understanding. And that troubled Marcus. The more Marcus learned, the more he felt that Leon wasn't being dishonest on purpose. Instead, he seemed to believe in his own ideas so deeply that he didn't realize the possible consequences. Marcus didn't want to embarrass him or argue online. He believed that if someone had a different approach, they should have a chance to explain it openly. So Marcus took a thoughtful approach. One evening, after finishing his own training, he recorded a calm and polite message. He spoke with a friendly smile, without any disrespect. "I've seen your work, Leon," Marcus said in the video. "You clearly care about helping your students. I respect that. I would like to invite you to a friendly demonstration event. No competition, no rivalry, just a chance for both of us to share our methods, so students in our city can learn more about different approaches." He didn't challenge Leon in an aggressive way. He only offered a chance for both of them to show their styles side by side. It was a peaceful invitation with the goal of helping the community understand different practices better. Marcus posted the video and didn't think much about it afterward. He wasn't trying to get attention. He simply wanted clarity for himself, for Leon, and for the people who followed both of them. The video reached Leon faster than Marcus expected. Leon was sitting in his studio, preparing new content, when his phone started buzzing with notifications. People kept tagging him, asking if he saw the invitation. Some wrote encouraging messages like, "Show your art," while others asked curious questions. Leon clicked on the video, and his heart began to race. No one had ever invited him to share his methods in a public demonstration before. Part of him felt excited. It made him feel recognized, like his work was finally reaching real martial artists. But another part of him felt nervous. He had never practiced his movements with anyone else. His classes were always peaceful and solo-based. He didn't train for partner-based demonstrations, but his followers expected something. They saw the invitation as a chance for Leon to show confidence. They posted supportive comments, encouraging him to say yes. Leon didn't want to disappoint them. He also didn't want to appear unsure, because his entire image was built on calmness and confidence. He breathed deeply, reminding himself that he had built a whole studio, a whole image, a whole identity. Saying no might make people question him. Saying yes might bring him new respect, so he decided to accept. He recorded a video reply with a gentle smile. "Thank you, Marcus, for your respectful invitation," Leon said. "I believe sharing knowledge is always a good thing. I accept your offer. Let us inspire our community together. I believe sharing knowledge is always a good thing." The moment he posted it, hundreds of viewers reacted. Leon felt both proud and anxious. He paced around his studio, imagining what the event would be like. He pictured himself standing confidently, showing his calm techniques. He hoped people would appreciate his peaceful style, even if it was different from Marcus's. Meanwhile, Marcus saw Leon's reply and nodded with satisfaction. He appreciated Leon's polite tone and willingness to share ideas. Marcus wasn't thinking about winning or losing. He only hoped the demonstration would help Leon understand the importance of combining peaceful practices with real experience, and help the community see the difference between imagination and tested methods. As the date for the demonstration approached, people in the city grew more curious. Some supported Leon, enjoying his peaceful approach. Others supported Marcus, trusting his experience. Many simply wanted to learn and see something interesting. Marcus continued training as usual, calm and steady. Leon, however, felt the pressure growing. He spent hours practicing alone, trying to make his movements look more impressive. He believed that if he stayed centered and calm, everything would work out. What neither of them knew was that this event would become a turning point not just for their own paths, but for everyone watching as well. The day of the demonstration came faster than Leon expected. For weeks, he had practiced in his studio with deep focus, trying to perfect every soft movement, every slow turn of his hands, every calm breath. He wanted to look confident and effortless. But even while practicing, he sometimes felt a faint, nervous feeling in his stomach. The event was no longer just an idea. It was happening. People were coming to watch, and he had to show his best self. Marcus, on the other hand, felt no pressure at all. He treated the event like a regular training day. He practiced his warm-ups, helped a few students refine their techniques, and moved through his routine with steady calmness. He respected Leon's acceptance of the invitation and wanted everything to feel welcoming and open, not competitive or stressful. The event was held in a large community center that offered a wide-open space for gatherings. The floor was clean and padded, the walls were lined with mirrors, and the air smelled slightly of fresh wood and new mats. Volunteers arranged chairs for the growing audience. Some people were from Marcus's gym, some from Leon's school, and many were simply curious locals who heard about the event online. As the room filled, a gentle buzz of conversation spread through the space. People wondered what kind of demonstration they would see. Some had watched Leon's calming videos and were excited to see his methods in person. Others knew Marcus and expected to enjoy his teaching style. A few came because they liked events that brought the community together. Leon arrived early, wearing a long, flowing robe that he believed helped present a peaceful and wise appearance. He carried himself with careful grace, smiling softly at everyone who greeted him. His students cheered when they saw him, telling him they were proud and excited. Their support encouraged him, helping ease some of the nervousness he felt. Marcus arrived a little later, wearing simple training clothes, nothing flashy or decorative. He walked in with a warm smile, greeting people with a handshake or a calm nod. When he saw Leon from across the room, he raised his hand in a friendly wave. Leon returned the gesture, though his smile felt a little tight from nerves. Volunteers announced that the demonstration would begin shortly. People found their seats, and the noise gradually softened. The atmosphere felt friendly, warm, and filled with anticipation. No one expected any conflict. They simply wanted to observe and perhaps learn something new. Marcus walked to the center of the room first, thanking everyone for coming. His voice was steady and relaxed, and he spoke with kindness. "Today is not a competition," he said with a smile. "We are here to share ideas, understand each other, and enjoy learning together." His words made the room feel reassuring and safe. When he invited Leon to join him, Leon stepped into the center with measured steps, trying to appear balanced and confident. The audience applauded gently. Leon bowed politely to Marcus, and Marcus returned the bow with equal respect. Leon began his part of the demonstration. He explained how he believed inner calmness could guide the body and mind. He demonstrated slow, careful movements, gliding his hands through the air with grace. He spoke about imagination, focus, and the power of belief. His voice was gentle, almost soothing. For many in the audience, it felt like watching a meditation class. His students smiled proudly, feeling inspired by his smooth presentation. Some people in the audience whispered quietly, admiring Leon's elegance. Others looked thoughtful, trying to understand the deeper meaning behind the movements. Leon felt encouraged. He moved with more confidence, as he continued explaining how inner energy could help someone remain centered in stressful moments. When it was Marcus's turn, the atmosphere shifted slightly. Marcus thanked Leon for his presentation and then began to show his own methods. His demonstration was simple, practical, and friendly. He walked the audience through small exercises that helped improve balance, posture, and timing. He invited volunteers from the crowd to join him in gentle drills, not forceful, but controlled and safe, focusing on understanding how the body naturally responds. People laughed and smiled as they tried the exercises. Marcus never rushed anyone. He encouraged them softly and celebrated their progress. His demonstration felt warm and interactive, like a community workshop rather than a performance. Leon watched from the side with mixed feelings. Part of him admired how easily Marcus connected with the crowd. Marcus made everything approachable and comfortable. But another part of Leon felt uneasy. He noticed how naturally people reacted to Marcus's explanations and demonstrations. Everything looked simple and real, without any big claims or mystical language. When it was time for both instructors to interact together, the room grew quiet with curiosity. Marcus approached Leon with a respectful smile. "Let's show the audience how two different styles can meet," he said gently. Leon nodded, but his hands felt slightly cold. He told himself to relax, to breathe deeply, to trust his practice. He wanted to look confident and composed in front of his students. Marcus stood calmly in front of Leon, giving him space and time. He made no sudden movements, no gestures that could make Leon uncomfortable. The moment felt peaceful and still, like two different worlds gently touching. Leon lifted his hands slowly, making smooth circular motions. He imagined guiding a soft wave of calm energy around him. Marcus observed respectfully, not interrupting. The audience watched with quiet fascination. Then Marcus stepped forward, not quickly, but with natural, relaxed steps. Leon continued his movements, trying to gently guide Marcus's approach with his hands, but Marcus simply followed his own balance and rhythm. There was no tension, no force, no discomfort. Just calm interaction. Leon moved his arms in larger arcs, hoping the motions would influence Marcus's direction somehow. Marcus adjusted slightly, giving Leon space to finish his movements. He wasn't resisting or challenging, he was simply moving in his natural flow. The audience could see that Leon's gestures didn't change Marcus's path, but they also saw that Marcus was making sure Leon felt safe and respected. It became clear to everyone that the two styles were very different. One based on calm imagination, the other based on natural body mechanics. Marcus then invited Leon to try a simple timing exercise together, one that involved stepping together in a coordinated pattern, like a gentle dance. Leon agreed nervously. Marcus guided him through it slowly, explaining each step with patience. The exercise was peaceful and smooth. Leon followed as best as he could, and the audience applauded their cooperation. Leon felt relieved. He had managed to stay composed, and the demonstration didn't feel confrontational. Marcus treated him with kindness, and the crowd appreciated both teachers for showing their methods without any negativity. After the demonstration ended, the audience applauded warmly. Some people approached Leon, complimenting his calm style and saying they enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere he brought. Others approached Marcus, thanking him for the practical exercises and friendly attitude. Many said they appreciated seeing both styles together. Leon smiled politely, but inside, his thoughts were swirling. He felt proud that he carried himself well, but he also sensed something new, something that made him think deeply. Watching Marcus's approach had shown him a kind of grounded confidence he had never developed. Marcus's methods didn't depend on special claims or mysterious explanations. They were simple, real, and effective in a way that didn't need decoration. Leon felt no shame, only reflection. He wondered if there was more he could learn, more he should understand, more he could explore to grow as a teacher. As the room slowly emptied, Marcus walked up to Leon with a friendly smile. "You did well today," Marcus said kindly. "Your calm presence is something many people can benefit from." Leon felt a soft warmth from the compliment. "Thank you," he replied quietly. "And your teaching? It felt very real and very honest. I appreciate how you handled everything." Marcus nodded gently. "We all have something to learn from each other." Leon looked at him thoughtfully. "Maybe. I still have a lot to learn." Marcus smiled. "We all do. We all do." The two men shook hands, and for the first time, Leon felt a small spark of curiosity, not about imaginary energy, but about real learning. Something had shifted inside him, something gentle but important. He didn't know it yet, but this demonstration would change the direction of his journey. After the demonstration event ended, Leon went home feeling thoughtful in a way he had never experienced before. All night, he replayed the moments in his mind, the audience's warm reactions, Marcus's friendly guidance, and the simple, clear way Marcus moved. Every detail stayed with him like a gentle echo. Leon sat alone in his quiet living room, candles glowing softly around him. Normally, he would feel proud after a public appearance. He would enjoy reading comments online, admiring compliments, and feeling important. But tonight, something was different. He felt calm but also unsettled, as if a door inside him had opened and he wasn't sure what was behind it yet. He tried to reassure himself. "I did well," he whispered. "People liked my presentation. They clapped. They smiled." And that was true. The audience appreciated him. They respected his peaceful style and admired his confidence. But deep inside, Leon felt something else. Something he couldn't ignore anymore. Watching Marcus move with such simple, natural skill had stirred something in him. Marcus didn't claim to have special abilities. He didn't use dramatic words or mysterious phrases. Yet everything about him felt real and grounded. Leon realized that while he had built a beautiful image, he might not have built real understanding underneath it. His movements were graceful. His voice was soothing. And his message was peaceful. But was that enough? Was that truly what he wanted to be remembered for? For the first time, Leon felt unsure. The next few days at his studio were unusually quiet. His students gathered in their usual classes, smiling and sharing excitement about the demonstration. Many said they were proud of him, and some said they loved seeing him present with calmness. Their kind words warmed his heart, but deep inside, the uncertain feeling returned every time someone complimented him. During one class, a young student named Theo raised his hand. "Master Leon," he asked gently, "will we learn exercises like the ones Marcus showed?" They helped people move better. The question surprised Leon. It wasn't disrespectful. It was sincere curiosity from a student who wanted to learn more. Leon paused longer than usual. His students watched quietly, waiting for his answer. For years, he had always responded with confidence. But this time, he didn't want to say something vague. He wanted to be honest, even if honesty made him uncomfortable. Finally, he replied softly, "Maybe we can explore something new soon." The class continued, but Leon's mind stayed on that moment. He knew he couldn't ignore the growing questions inside him. He cared about his students. They trusted him, believed in him, and followed his teachings with sincerity. He didn't want to guide them down a path that lacked real depth. That evening, Leon decided to take a walk to clear his thoughts. The sky was painted with soft shades of orange and pink, and a calm breeze brushed against his face. The city felt quieter than usual as he walked slowly through the streets, listening to the soft sounds of traffic and distant conversations. As he wandered, his steps carried him near Marcus's gym. The lights inside were still on. Through the large windows, Leon could see people practicing simple drills. They looked focused, comfortable, and connected to each other. Marcus walked between them, offering gentle corrections and encouraging words. Leon stood outside for a moment, unsure whether he should enter. Part of him felt shy. Another part felt hopeful. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. The room fell quiet for a moment when people noticed him. Marcus looked up, surprised but pleasantly so. He walked toward Leon with a warm smile. "Good to see you, Leon," Marcus said. "Everything all right?" Leon nodded slowly. "Yes. I just wanted to talk." Marcus guided him to sit on a bench at the side of the room. The students continued their practice, filling the room with soft rhythms of movement and breathing. Leon spoke after a short silence. "The demonstration made me think a lot," he said. "I realized how different our approaches are. And it made me wonder if maybe there are things I never learned." Marcus listened carefully, not interrupting. Leon continued. "People trust me. My students believe in my guidance. But now I'm not sure if I've given them everything they truly need. I taught them calmness, breathing, and imagination. Those things are good, but I think I should know more. For their sake. And for mine." Marcus smiled gently. "It's good that you're thinking deeply about this. Honest reflection is one of the strongest qualities a teacher can have." Leon felt a small relief. "I want to learn," he said quietly. "But I don't want to lose myself either. I like bringing peace to people. I just want to make sure I'm helping them in real ways." "There's space for both," Marcus replied. "Peace and practical understanding can work together. You don't have to give up who you are. You can grow while staying true to your nature." Leon looked down at his hands. The same hands he had used for years to perform flowing movements. For the first time, he wondered what they could do if he learned to use them differently, not for show, not for illusion, but for genuine understanding. "Would you help me learn?" Leon asked softly. Marcus's eyes softened. "Of course," he said. "We can start slowly. You're welcome here anytime." Those words settled something inside Leon. He felt lighter, as if a heavy question had finally found its answer. Over the next week, Leon returned to Marcus's gym several times. He didn't wear his robe or act like a master. He came as a student, a beginner open to learning and improving. Marcus guided him through simple exercises, balance work, posture correction, and gentle partner movements that helped him feel connection instead of imagination. Leon struggled at first. His body wasn't used to these movements. He had trained alone for so long that working with partners felt foreign. But Marcus was patient, always explaining everything clearly and calmly. As Leon practiced, he realized something important. The peaceful energy he loved didn't disappear when he learned real techniques. It blended with them. He felt more aware, more present, and more connected. His movements became clearer. Not because he abandoned his style, but because he added depth to it. Meanwhile, Leon's students started noticing small changes in their teacher. He became more open, more honest about what he knew and what he was learning. He introduced new exercises in class, simple, safe ones that encouraged awareness and real movement. His students enjoyed the changes. They felt they were growing with him. One morning, while practicing alone in his studio, Leon caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror. He didn't see the version of himself who tried to appear mysterious or powerful. He saw someone real, someone who wanted to help others, not by pretending, but by learning continuously. He smiled softly at his reflection, "This feels right," he whispered. Later that week, one of his students approached him after class. "Master Leon," she said gently, "the new exercises you're teaching, they feel very helpful. I feel more stable, more aware. Thank you for learning new things and bringing them to us." Leon felt his heart warm. "Thank you for trusting me," he replied. "We're all growing together." As days passed, Leon continued training with Marcus and teaching his students with a renewed sense of purpose. His confidence didn't come from pretending or performing. It came from honesty, curiosity, and the courage to grow. And in that gentle journey, Leon found something he never expected: a deeper, truer strength. Not the kind that needed applause, but the kind that helped him stand tall, calm, sincere, and always learning. Weeks passed, and Leon found himself growing in ways he never imagined. The changes were gentle, like the slow rising of morning light. Nothing happened suddenly, but each day carried its own small discovery. He still practiced his peaceful movements, still spoke softly, and still guided his students with warmth. But now, behind every word he spoke and every gesture he made, there was a new understanding, something real, something grounded. Leon felt more open, more connected, and more honest with himself than ever before. His students noticed the change too. They could feel a different kind of energy in the studio, calmer, clearer, more meaningful. Leon didn't only talk about inner strength now, he showed them how to build it through real awareness and gentle physical practice. He encouraged questions, welcomed curiosity, and even admitted when he didn't know something fully. His students admired this honesty. It made him feel more human, more relatable, and more trustworthy. One evening, after class ended and the students left, Leon stood alone in the empty studio. The soft lights reflected on the polished floor. He breathed in deeply, filling his lungs with calm air. He had spent so many years imagining himself as someone special, someone above others. But now he realized something beautiful. Being special didn't mean pretending to know everything. Being special meant caring enough to learn. Leon turned off the lights and locked the door. Instead of going home, he walked toward the community park nearby. The night air was cool and refreshing. The park was quiet, the sky filled with soft stars. He sat on a bench and closed his eyes, letting the gentle sounds of nature wrap around him. He thought about his journey, how he started by copying movements from videos without understanding, how he created an image that others admired, even though he knew in his heart it wasn't complete. How he stepped into a demonstration event with confidence on the outside but hidden uncertainty on the inside. And how meeting Marcus changed everything, not through pressure or criticism, but through kindness and truth. Leon smiled to himself. Life had given him a chance to grow, and he had chosen to take it. The next morning, Leon decided he wanted to share his reflections with his students in a new way. During class, he gathered everyone in a circle. The studio felt warm and welcoming as sunlight filtered through the windows. "I want to talk to you all," Leon began gently, "about our journey." The students listened with curious eyes. "I started teaching because I wanted to help people. I believed in peace and calmness. I believed in imagination and energy. And those things are still important to me. But I also realized there are things I didn't understand fully. There are skills I never learned. And I want to change that not only for myself, but for all of you." The students exchanged soft glances. No one was upset. They simply waited for him to continue. "I've been learning from Marcus," Leon said. "He has shown me new ways of understanding movement, balance, and awareness. These lessons do not replace what we do here. They add to it. They make us stronger not by force, but by truth." Many students nodded with smiles. They appreciated his honesty. Leon continued, "I hope to grow more, and I hope you'll grow with me. We will blend calmness with real understanding. We will combine peaceful practice with practical awareness. I want our school to be a place where imagination and real knowledge work together." A warm wave of applause rose from his students, not loud, not dramatic, but full of genuine support. Leon felt tears touch the corners of his eyes. but he blinked them away gently. This moment meant more to him than any attention he had received in the past. After class, one of his older students, a woman named Rena, approached him with a soft smile. "Master Leon," she said kindly, "I've always loved your peaceful approach. But now I love it even more. Because now it feels grounded. It feels real. Thank you for choosing to grow." Leon placed a hand over his heart. "Thank you for staying with me," he replied. Later that week, Marcus visited Leon's studio for the first time. The students greeted him warmly, excited to see the teacher who had influenced their master's growth. Marcus observed the peaceful environment with appreciation. "You've created a beautiful space here," Marcus said to Leon. Leon smiled. "It's becoming more beautiful now that I understand more." The two teachers spent the afternoon exchanging ideas. Marcus demonstrated simple exercises, and Leon shared breathing and mindfulness techniques that helped people stay calm. They discovered how well their styles complemented each other. One grounded people in physical truth, the other grounded them in emotional balance. At one point, as they practiced side by side, Leon laughed softly. "It's strange," he said. "For years, I thought I had reached the highest point of understanding. But now, I realize I was just at the beginning." Marcus chuckled. "That happens to everyone at some point in life. The important thing is that you kept going." Their friendly partnership soon blossomed into something meaningful. They created a monthly community workshop together, inviting people from all backgrounds to explore movement, mindfulness, and awareness in a gentle and inclusive way. These workshops became popular not because they promised miracles, but because they offered sincerity. People felt comfortable, safe, and valued. Leon's online presence changed too. Instead of making videos where he spoke like a mystical master, he started sharing honest thoughts about personal growth, self-discovery, and the importance of learning from others. His followers noticed the shift. Some were surprised. Some were impressed. And many more appreciated his new message. He no longer claimed to have secret powers. He no longer tried to appear extraordinary. He simply shared his truth, that growth is a lifelong journey. The response shocked him. Instead of losing followers, he gained more. People enjoyed his sincerity. They felt connected to his journey of learning and transformation. One evening, while recording a new video, Leon said something from the heart. Real strength comes from honesty. Not from pretending. Not from trying to impress others. But from accepting who you are and improving step by step. The video became one of his most appreciated posts ever. Time flowed gently, and Leon's life settled into a peaceful balance. His studio flourished, his students grew stronger, and his friendship with Marcus deepened. He no longer felt the need to prove anything. He didn't feel pressure to appear wise or mysterious. He simply enjoyed being someone who cared, and someone who kept learning. Months later, at another community event, Leon stood in front of a crowd, not as a performer, and not as someone seeking admiration, but as a teacher who had found his true path. He spoke with a calm smile. "We all begin somewhere," he said. "Sometimes we start in the wrong place. Sometimes we walk the wrong path. But what matters is that we keep moving, keep learning, and keep growing. Every step teaches us something about the world, about others, and about ourselves." The audience applauded warmly. Leon bowed gently, not as a master above others, but as a human being among human beings, strong because he learned, peaceful because he understood, and respected because he chose truth over illusion. His journey had changed him, but more importantly, it had guided him toward who he was always meant to be, a real teacher, a real learner, a real example of growth.